Good evening. A warm welcome to all of you taking time off on a Sunday evening and joining the Gita Wisdom session. We are going to start chapter 12 called Devotional Service Yoga. This is the last chapter out of the six chapters, middle six chapters, 7 to 12. So we will go through this in detail. The acronym of this chapter is Godhead. What is that? Is God, not Godhead, God. Very interesting acronym. We will see what this stands as we go forward. Let's start with our prayers. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. I offer my obeisances to my Guruji. Seek his blessings, seek all your blessings as I try to share the Gita wisdom in this hour today. I am reminded of our dear colleague Siddharth, who passed away yesterday. So we pay for 1 second silence as a mark of respect to the departed soul. Dear Siddharth, may your soul rest in peace. So with that, let's kick off. We have, this is interesting for people who are statistical minded. This is the shortest chapter of Gita. We have only 20 verses. And this is also starting with a question from Arjuna. Normally, that's the trend, but 11th chapter was different. Now, again, in 12th chapter, we are back to the Arjuna asking a question. So the chapter starts with a question and then Krishna answers. We will quickly revise what we did in the last 2 months, last 2 classes. We covered chapter 11, most important chapter of Gita, the universal form, Vishwarupa Yoga. And the acronym of this chapter is Rupa. What is Rupa? Request from Arjuna. That was the first lesson. So Arjuna says, my illusion is dispelled and I want to see your universal form. I want to see your Vishwarupa. Krishna says, dear Arjuna, I will show you my Vishwarupa, but you cannot see it with your current eyes. So let me give you divine pair of eyes, Divya Chakshu. So that's how the first lesson is, starting with a request from Arjuna. Then we go to the lesson 2, over 4 verses. Krishna shows the universal form. It is the most amazing description of one we cannot imagine. It is inconceivable. Then the lesson 3 is prayers of Arjuna, Rupa P. Here we look at various descriptions of the universal form. You have Sanjaya describing the universal form, then Arjuna describes the universal form. In the universal form, Arjuna describes what is the vision of the universe, what's the effect on the universe. And then when the Vishwarupa turns to Kala Rupa, he is scared because he can see what's going to happen in future in the Vishwarupa, in the Kala Rupa. The entire Kaurava army is being absorbed in the mouth of the Lord. That was so ghastly to see. The last section was armed form, the lesson 4. Krishna said, now at the end of the lesson 3, Arjuna asks, dear Krishna, can you please tell me, are you the two-handed beautiful form of Shamsundara that I know, or you are this Bhayankar Kalarupa Vishwarupa? And Krishna answers in the last lesson, armed form. He says, I am both. You want to, whatever you want to see, I can show. Second, he says, you become my instrument. That's it. Everything is predetermined. Everything runs as my plan. All that you have to do is participate. He says, Nimitta matram bhavasavisache in 11.33. Then Arjuna is overwhelmed. He starts his prayers. And then the last section in that verse, pure devotion alone gives you, you can go to the Lord only through devotional service. And we ended the 11th chapter with the most important verse, essence of Gita. If you know this verse, then you can understand what is Krishna trying to tell us. He says, Mat karmakran mat paramo mat bhakta sangvarchita nirvaira sarva bhuteshu yas samam eti pandavaha. One who engages in my pure devotional service, free from contamination of fruitive activities, mental speculation. He who works for me makes me the supreme goal of his life, and who is friendly to every living being, he certainly comes to me. So if you want mukti, moksha, you want to go to the Lord, go back to Godhead, best way is following this verse. Try and surrender yourself unto the Lord. So with that brief description, we start with today's chapter, devotional service. And the acronym is God. God, what does G stand for? Godhead. So here we come to know Krishna clearly telling Arjuna that I am a person. I'm personal. I have a personal form as Sham Sundara. So that's the first lesson to all of us. He says, I am not in Brahma Jyoti. I am not light. No, I am a personal form. And you must, if you pray to me in the Bhagavan form, you will achieve me. And Arjuna is starting with this because he has seen the Vishwarupa Darshana. He has seen how Krishna has transformed from a two-handed form to a Vishwarupa. So he's saying, Krishna, I still have a doubt. Can you please tell me once and for all, clarify, what are you? Which is the form I must worship? Is it the personal form as Bhagavan, or it should be the impersonal form as Brahman? That's the first question. Then options. Krishna says, I will give you the ladder of love, ladder of devotional service. You decide what you can do. That is I don't give you a prescription, I give you a choice. Next, devotee's disposition. The next lesson from verse 12 to 20 is a list of 31 qualities which Krishna says all devotees must cultivate. If you can cultivate that, then you will understand the message of Gita and you will come back to me. In fact, recently I was reading and it said the what is devotional service? It sounds easy, but not one of us, many of us can't really understand what is devotional service. All of us are used to we go to the temple, we pray to the Lord, we follow all the festivals at home. I think that is devotional service, but it is not that is the beginning of devotional service. In fact, the Acharya says the action that we perform, which if it touches the heart of the Lord and melt it, that's devotion. Imagine what it calls is selfless surrender. Now, when I say this, again, it looks very exotic and it may not, for a layman, how do I understand what is that selfless surrender? Then I thought, Acharya describes this example and says, this will tell you what is devotional service. We are all aware of this. We can recognize Rama having a squirrel in his hand. It's called Alilu Seve. Even the squirrel decided to help Rama when he was planning to build a bridge to attack Lanka. The work started. The monkeys, the Vanarasena was active. They were moving big boulders, and whole work was progressing fast, smoothly. And in all this commotion, there was small little squirrel which was rolling in the sand, running towards the sea, dropping the sand, grains of sand, and saying that I am also doing my service to the Lord. The monkeys first were a little irritated. What is the squirrel trying to do? It's coming in the way. We are trying to rush towards completing our task. They were irritated. Then they stop the squirrel and say, why are you trying to come in between? If I step on you, you will be hurt. I may trip and fall. So please move away. Squirrel says, oh dear monkey, I am happy. You have acknowledged my presence and you say that I am small. Yes, yeah, I may look like an irritant to you, but I am also doing service to the Lord. Please appreciate. And sand is also an important ingredient for the bridge. And the monkey really gets irritated. It takes the squirrel and throws it in the air and says, you get lost. I don't want you in my way. And the squirrel lands in the hands of Rama. Rama says, oh dear monkeys, you're all my devotees. I know that you're doing a wonderful task, but you must appreciate strength or power is not the only requirement for devotional service. This little squirrel has that faith, and faith is very important for devotional service. We will see this in this chapter time and again where Krishna says, I want you to have Shraddha in me, faith in me. And he rubs the squirrel's back. And even today we see the 3 marks on the back of the squirrel. That is devotional service. The squirrel, by its selfless service, moved the heart of the Lord, melted his concern for such a small animal trying to serve him. It is devotional service. It doesn't matter what quantity, what size. What matters is selfless. I want to help you. I want to surrender. So, with that nice example, so that gives us an understanding of what is devotional service and what is Krishna going to tell us in the next 20 verses. So, the first one is Godhead. As I said, Arjuna has this doubt. What is your form? Are you personal or are you impersonal? Are you the Brahmajyoti or are you the Bhagavan? In fact, in we already have heard this from Krishna. In 6.47, he says, Yoginam api sarvesham gatinantar atmana shraddhavan bhajate yomam same yukta tamo mataha. He says, one who worships me with faith, shraddhavan bhajate yomam, with mind attached to me, is greater than all types of yogis. So he's already said, one who worships me in my personal form is superior. Now he's going to further reinforce that message in this chapter. In 7.1, which is the beginning of Bhakti Yoga, he says, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, Mayi Asakta Mana Partha, Yogam Yunjam Mat Ashraya, Samshayam Samagram Mam, Yathagnashyasi Tat Shrunu. What does he say? He says that Supreme Personality of God had said, now here, O son of Pruta, by practicing yoga in full consciousness of me, with mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from now. So he has already given us this message, but he is going to reinforce this in this chapter. After this chapter, we must not have any doubts in our mind. And Lord can be realized in three forms. And we will see this. He says, even if you follow the impersonal Brahmajyoti, you will still come to me. But if the path easy, path could be difficult. So what are the three forms of the Lord? Brahman, that is the Brahmajyoti, that is the impersonal form. Paramatma, who is within all of us, and Bhagavan. Sat, Chit, Ananda. If you want to have all the three features of the Lord, you pray to the personal form of the Lord. Let's start with the first verse. Question is, who is better, personalist or impersonalist? Arjuna Uvacha, Evam Satata Ye Bhaktastvam Paryupasate Ye Chapi Aksharam Avyaktam Tesam Ke Yoga Vittamaha. Who is perfect? Please help me understand. Arjuna is inquiring. Now, the question is very simple. Bhaktastvam Paryupasate. Is the worship of the personal form better or Ye Chapi Aksharam Avyaktam? What is the personal form? When we pray to the Lord and when we say we have Govinda in front of us and we pray to the Lord, that is personal worship. He is present in form of Govinda in front of us. He is present in form of Krishna in front of us. It is personal worship. Now, what is the impersonal worship? It is the Brahmajyoti. He does not have any form. How can a person with form worship a formless Lord? Comes. Now, there are people who follow that. It's So Aham Brahmasmi is the mantra of an impersonalist worshipper. There is nothing, what you can say, positive, negative, superior, inferior. That's not the question. The question is, what is that I want to do and what is that which is easy? Krishna now answers in no uncertain terms. He says, Shri Bhagavan Vacha Mayi Aveshya Mano Ye Mam Nitya Yukta Upasate Shraddhaya Paryopetaha Te Me Yukta Tamamataha. Very important. Shraddhaya. He begins this verse with Shraddhaya and he ends this chapter with Shraddhaya. So without faith, there is no devotional service. What is the one line essence of this verse? Pure devotees of Krishna are most perfect in yoga. This is what Krishna says. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, those who fix their minds on my personal form and are always engaged in worshiping me with great transcendental faith are considered by me to be the most perfect. So there is no iota of doubt in this statement. What he says, Mayi Aveshya. Mayi is on me. Aveshya is mind fully absorbed, fixed, merged in me. Now, when I say this, how do you understand? How can mind be fully absorbed in thinking of Krishna? Acharyas give two examples. They say you take kesar, saffron, and put it in the milk. What happens? Saffron mixes beautifully with. I see Ravi has sent a message. Welcome, Ravi and Vani. Thank you for joining. So, saffron mixes so beautifully in the milk. That is mind fully absorbed in Krishna. Does the Kesar say that, oh, I will only mix 99% and 1% I will remain as saffron speck? No, he is completely mixed. Take a drop of ink and put it in the water. What happens? It is completely mixed. That is the Mayi Aveshya Manoye. You have to be fully absorbed in me. There is no shortcut. Then he says, Nitya Yukta Upasate. Nitya Yukta is not why you. It's not like corporate sector where you have a plan for a month, a quarter, or half yearly, annual, 5 year. No. Nitya Yukta. As long as we are alive, as long as we are breathing, you have to continue devotion to me. What? How do you pray to him? Shraddhaya Paryopetaha. Shraddhaya with great transcendental faith. What is Paryopetaha? Parya is beyond the gunas, transcendental. Upetaha is endowed. You are endowed with supreme faith. If you have that, then te me yukta tamamataha. You are considered to be the most perfect. You are my ananya bhakta. You can quickly attain me. Let's go further. What Krishna says. These are two verses coming together. Let's go one by one. Ye tva aksharam anirdeshyam avyaktam paryupasate sarvatra gamachintyam ma cha tastam achalam dhruvam. This is 12.3. So now Krishna is telling us what is the process and what is the destination of a Brahmavadi who is a worshipper of the impersonal form, the Brahman form, Brahmajyoti form. The verse continues 12.4 Sanniyamendriya gramam sarvatra samabuddhayah te prapnuvanti mameva sarvabhuta hite rataha. What is the translation? Let's go by word. Yetva aksharam anirdeshyam. Nirdeshyam. Impossible to define with words. Now, Brahmajyoti, how will you describe light? You can say it is bright, it is radiant, it is effulgent. All these words were used for describing Krishna's Vishwarupa. But still, for our mind and intelligence, it is very difficult to understand what is Anirdeshyam. Charam. It is changeless, immutable, imperishable. The light continues to be the light, irrespective of what you do. Whatever is your effort, there is no change in this. Avyaktam, unmanifest, not comprehensible. We have five senses. It is beyond our sense perception. That's what makes impersonal form of worship difficult. Sarvatragam, it is spread everywhere. The light is present everywhere. Is any doubt? No. It is all pervading. It is infinite. So Lord is describing how the impersonal form is and what is the difficulty if you want to follow the worship of them. Achintyam, not able to think, incomprehensible, beyond our senses. Kutastam, unchanging, extending over all time. Achalam, without vikara, without modification. The light doesn't change, it exists as it is. Dhruvam, it is firm, eternal, nityam. So, this is the description of the impersonal form of the Lord Krishna is giving us. In the 12.4, he now says, Sammiyandre, Sanniyamendriya Gramam. What does he mean by that? He says, you Indriya means senses. By the process of controlling various senses, Sarvatra, Samabuddhaya, being equally disposed to everyone, te prapnuvanti mameva. Such persons last achieve me. Sarvabhuta hiterataha. because they are engaged in the welfare of all. So if you are an impersonalist worshipper, if you believe in Brahma, if you say Aham Brahmasmi is my mantra, he says, perfect. You also will come to me, but be aware that this is the challenge. In the next verse, it tells you what is the challenge. And this is not a surprise because Ravi Shankar, you're not able to see the screen, Ravi?
No, yeah, Sham, the screen is blank and it is black. So if you can kindly reshare probably or refresh the screen, it may show.
One
I
second.
joined in 5 minutes late, maybe because of that. I don't know. I
No,
don't
you
know
know
if
what I
all
said.
the other participants are able to see.
Ramesh, you can see? I
Yeah,
can see
I'm
it in
able to
my
see it
mobile.
very well. Yeah, very well.
Ravi, do one
Yeah.
thing. You log out and log in again.
I tried all of those stunts twice over. Yeah. I'll try once again then.
Because if
Ah,
I can't refresh. I have to stop and again get into it.
okay. Don't worry. I will once again leave and join in and hope to
Right.
get it. Or at
Just
least
check it
we'll
out.
get to hear your voice. Okay.
Done, done, done.
Okay.
Thank you,
Bye.
Ravi.
Bye.
Bye.
I also have got yeah, got it's disappeared now. The black patch has disappeared.
Okay.
I can see it. I can create something you did. The black block disappeared.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
Actually, I
yeah,
didn't
it's
do
okay
anything.
now.
Okay. So to continue, it is not a surprise that even the impersonal worshipper, he says, Te prapnuvanti mameva, you will achieve me. Because in 4.11, Krishna has already said, Ye yatamam prapadyante, tam sataiva bhajami ham, mama vartamanu vartante, manushya partha sarvasaha. As you surrender unto me, I reward you accordingly. So Krishna is saying that, yes, I have already said that if you want to worship my impersonal form, so be it, you will still come to me. But the next verse tells us what is the challenge. The result, you will achieve the Lord, but you will only see the Sat and Chit feature of the Lord. You will not see the Ananda feature of the Lord. And how about the process? We will come to know in this verse. क्लेशो अधिकतरस्तेषाम् अव्यक्तसक्तचेतसाम् अव्यक्त हि गतिर्दुःखम् देहवाद्भिरवाप्यते. He says this path is troublesome, oh my dear Arjuna. And this is a message for all of us. If you believe in impersonal worship, we are making it hard on ourselves. He says, for those whose minds are attached to the unmanifested, impersonal feature of the Supreme, advancement is very troublesome. To make progress in that discipline is always difficult for those who are embodied. Deva, Deha Avatir, all living beings, all of us have a body. So he says if you are embodied, you will find it difficult. There are two words which very clearly tells us what is the story. Klesho, troublesome, miserable. So you don't have to read the full words. If you just read these two words, you'll understand that Krishna is openly saying, oh my Arjuna, it is not easy for you to pray to my impersonal form. Why? Because Klesho Adiktaras, advancement is troublesome. Adiktara means extremely troublesome. It is the obstacles are innumerable. You cannot no you cannot hope that I will be able to have a slightly better what you can say return on my efforts tomorrow. It continues to be troublesome. It will be troublesome. It will be troublesome for all times to come. Avyakta sakta chetasam. Asakta means committed. Chetasa means mind. Yes, your minds, your consciousness are all attached to the impersonal form. He gatir dukham. Gati means destination. What will you achieve? There is suffering. Process, progress is very difficult. That is the clear message. Dehavat bir avapyate. For those who are embodied, all living beings will find this difficult because the mind, it is very difficult for it to concentrate, focus, meditate on nothing. It has no attribute and it has no activity. Light continues to be a form of bright light in front of us. How do we pray to this? I get another message. Let's see if perfect. Thank you, Ravi. I'm very happy.
Thanks, Shyam.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's move to the next verse. Ye tu sarvani karmani mayi sanyasya matparaha anannenaiva yogena mam dhyayanta upasate. Again, we are going to take two verses together. Bhakti is simple, easy path for my Nanya Bhaktas. So he says, let's follow this path, which is easier for us to accomplish. Tesam aham samudharta mrityu samsara sagarat bhavami na chirat partha mai aveshita chetasam. So he's also saying, when you pray to the personal form, what is the reward you get? Oh, sorry. Translation. But those who worship me, giving up all their activities unto me and being devoted to me without deviation, engaged in devotional service and always meditating upon me, having fixed their minds upon me, O son of Pruta, for them I am the swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death. Can you have a more better assurance than this? Tesam aham samudharta. He says, I am not only the deliverer, I am the swift deliverer. So it is better for all of us to follow the path of personal worship. Let's go line by line. Ye tu sarvani karmani, that is, give up all activities except working for me. Mayi sanyasya, those who renounce their work for me. Paraha, they make me the ultimate goal. Whatever may be the activity, it ends in Krishna. Ananyenaiva yogena, without deviation. Don't give up just because I have difficulty, I have misery, I have bad health, I'm not feeling, I don't have the mood, I may kal kar lunga. This Krishna doesn't encourage. He says, Ananyenaiva, you have to be committed without deviation, because his love towards us is ananyanaiva. He is never going to waver. He's not going to say, Aaj to I'm not in the mood. Today I'll not look after you. No. When he is committed to look after us all the time till our last breath, we also should reciprocate in the same manner. Mam dhyayant upasate. Worship me, engage your mind, work for me, get into devotional service. Tesam aham samudharta. This is one of the most, what you can say, assurance giving lines from Krishna. He says, for all of these bhaktas, for all of these devotees, I am the swift deliverer. He's saying this not for the first time, he's saying this for the second time. He says in 9.22, Ananyas chintayanto mam ye janaha paryupasate tesam nityayobhiktanam yoga kshema vahami ham. He says, those who always worship me with exclusive devotion, meditate on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have. Incidentally, this is the tagline of LIC in India. So he has said that I will look after Yoga Kshema Vahamiham, and now he's saying Tesa Maham Samudharta. And what is he going to look after from? He is going to rescue us from Mrutyu Samsara Sagara. This life is what is it all about? It's about you're born, you live, you face a lot of miseries, have few moments of happiness, and then there is death. Mrityu Samsara Sagara. Why is it called Sagara? Because it's an ocean. Can you see the beginning of the ocean and the end of the ocean? Impossible. Similarly, our life cycle, our lifetime is Sagara. So he's saying, he's giving us an assurance that I will save you. Bhavami. I become Nachirat Partha. I'm not going to take long time. And what is that delivery? It is swift delivery. Mayi aveshita chetasam. Because you are fixing your mind on me, I will deliver you. 12.2 also started with Mayi aveshya manoye ma. 12.7 he ends with Mayi aveshita chetasam. So it is very important for us to focus our mind on Krishna. As you go forward, you will see this again and again. Now, impersonal Brahmajyoti will remain impersonal. What is the challenge in impersonal? It is not reciprocal. Whatever you do, it remains constant. Whereas the Bhagwan can very openly can, and he says so openly that I will deliver you. Tesam aham samudharta. This assurance is not forthcoming from the Dhammajyoti form of the Lord. We have finished the first
Sorry, Prabhuji,
section.
you're saying this assurance is not forthcoming?
That is the assurance he has given us, not once, twice.
Okay, sorry, I misheard.
So he's not only saying that you should worship me, he says, if you worship me, what is the result? I am going to come and deliver you. So with that, we finish the first lesson, and now we go to the lesson 2. Here, Krishna gives us options. God, G-O. What are those options? Let's go through. Progressive stages of bhakti. That is the beauty of Gita. We have no 10 commandments. We don't have that, you have to do only this. If you don't concentrate your mind on me, you will not come to me. No. He says, if you see this ladder, you say, now I can climb the first step, or I want to start from the second step. Choice is yours. What is this progressive levels of bhakti? Just an overview, glance, glimpse. First, he says, be with internal senses. All of us are blessed with mind and intelligence. If he says, if you can dedicate that towards me, that's the first ladder of bhakti, and it's the highest. 12.10, he says, bhakti with external senses. When you work for me, that is also acceptable to me. In 12.11, he says, okay, fine, you are not able to focus your mind and intelligence on me. You cannot engage in devotional service. Fine. Okay, I understand. You are a very busy man. Fine. I'm giving you another option. He says, give up the results of your work. Don't say that I'm doing this for my happiness. You say, I'm doing this for Krishna's happiness. If you are able to do that, even then you will come to me. Selfish versus selfless. Whole journey of moving from material world to the spiritual world is selfish becomes selfless. The moment we are saying I don't exist, I am all yours, that's the day when our spiritual journey starts. And 12.12 is the most tricky verse of this chapter of entire Gita. It looks simple, but we will see how tricky it can be to understand that. First verse. So this is, if we can do this, I think we have arrived. But is it easy? We will see. If it was easy, why would Krishna have given us so many choices? He says, Mayi eva mana adatsva, Mayi buddhim niveshaya, nivashishyasi Mayi eva, tha urdvam na samshayaha. Fix your mind on me, maranatmika bhakti. Let's see what's it. Now here, there are two options he is giving in the same verse. So mind is Mayi mana. We can understand mana is mind. Buddhi is intelligence. Mai buddhim niveshaya. So if you fix your mind on me, it is called smaranatmika bhakti. If you fix your intelligence on me, it is called mananatmika bhakti. Let's see what Krishna says. Very simple words. We will take our lifetimes to achieve this. Just fix your mind upon me, Supreme Personality of Godhead, said, and engage all your intelligence in me. Thus you will live in me always without a doubt. Now, by looking at this translation, 3 lines, do you think this is so difficult? But the challenge of the is whole life will go and we will still not be able to achieve this because bondage and liberation both are decided by the state of mind. It is not easy to control our mind. You may read Gita 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times. That is reading. We may say that, okay, I have listened to it carefully. I have understood it. Okay, fine. You have done slightly better job. Can you implement it in your life? That is the biggest challenge. It is abhyasa. It's not going to happen easily. Mai eva na adatsva. Fix your mind on me exclusively. Now, when you go through this ladder of bhakti, acharyas give a brilliant example. They say that look at the eye and the eyelid. There is a beautiful relationship between that. Does the eyelid ever say that I am protecting you? It does its work silently, constantly. Nitya. That is the way our devotion service to the Lord should be. That is the way our mind, our intelligence should be fixed on the Lord. Does the eyelid ever say that, oh no, I will not wrap for a second. I want to take rest. Just imagine what can happen to our eyes. That is the protection that we get. That is the way we should have our service to the Lord. Now, why mind is a challenge? Because it has this problem of doubting. It thinks and doubts. It has this sakalpa, vikalpa. Can I do? Can I not do? For first 10 minutes, we are very confident. And the next 15 minutes, we are not confident. It is the beauty of mind. If only we can master mind, we have mastered spirituality. My buddhim niveshaya, fix and engage your intelligence in me. What is intelligence? Intelligence is we are reading Gita. Yes, we have forced our mind to spend this 1 hour listening to Gita. Our intelligence is doing its best to absorb whatever little, whatever much, as ever much possible from this discussion. Yes, you have devoted your mind, you have devoted your intelligence. This is called meditation. This is called manana. What we do for this 1 hour, can we do it for 24 hours, for a month, for an annual, for an year? That is the challenge, and that is the journey. Nivashyasi, Nivashishyasi Mai Eva. What is Nivasa? Nivasa means residence. Nivashishyasi is a poetic form. Then he says, you will reside in me. Our residence is on the lotus feet of the Lord. Ata urdhvam na samshayaha. He says, don't have any doubts. Very, very clear message, short, crisp. But the challenge is, how do we do that? How do we practice it? Let's go to the next. Now, there are two beautiful examples to show in this nature how the Lord tries to show us both possibilities. Markata Nyaya. Here, this is an example for a Jnani who wants to pray to the Paramatma, or to a Brahmavadi who wants to pray to the impersonal form of the Lord, the Brahman, the Brahmajyoti. Here, what happens is if you see the baby of a monkey, it is holding to the mother. It is your effort. If the baby is careless, it will fall. Now, this is impersonal worship. If you want, you can follow that. Now, look at the cat. What does the cat do? Cat has held the baby in its mouth, and the cat is smiling. It will sleep blissfully. That is the way of devotional service. If you can adopt Marjana Nyaya, you will lead a far peaceful life, because whenever there is challenge, whenever there is misery, we have the Lord to help us. And the same mouth of the cat, if it is going to go after a rat, it stands for death. So that's the Lord. He will protect you, and at the same time, we have seen he also stands for destruction. So we must try to follow Marjaranyaya, follow the personal form of the Lord, pray to the Bhagavan, Sat, Chit, and Ananda, all will be with us. Next verse. Interesting. Atachittam samadhutam samadhatum nasaknoshi maistiram abhyasa yogena tato mam ichhaptum dhananjaya. Try to fix your mind on Krishna. Rupa Bhakti. Now he says, how do you practice? How do you fix your mind? Krishna gives us the example. He says, my dear Arjuna, the Dhananjaya, oh winner of wealth. Let me make this pointer. Winner of wealth, if you cannot fix your mind upon me without deviation, Hiram, it should be fixed always. Then follow the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga. In this way, develop a desire to attain me. Now, this is the path we are all trying to adopt. We are trying to say that, okay, I want to develop the desire to pray to the Lord, to surrender to the Lord. What is Aksha? Aksha means if you are not able to do that, what I had told you in the last verse, Chittam, you're not able to focus your mind and intelligence on me. Nasaknoshi, if you cannot think of me constantly, Samadhutam, that is the way I have described constantly, it is fine. It should be fixed, no deviation. Abhyasa yogena tato. Then follow the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga. And what is this regulative principles? We have 4 of them which are defined. No meat eating, no gambling, no illicit sex. Now, are they so difficult? Any intelligent person will say drinking is bad for health. Any intelligent person will say smoking is bad for health. But why do you do that? Why do you keep doing that? That is the challenge. So Krishna says, Abhyasa yogena tato. Now, for example, I want to fix my mind on Krishna. How do I do? I try and chant for at least 16 rounds every day. For that 2 hours, I am trying to be in communion with the Lord. Moment I say Hare Krishna, I have said, Krishna, I want to surrender unto you. That is abhyasa. It doesn't come easy. The mind is like, it sways away. But we should, the challenge is don't allow it to stay away. Goes out, bring it back. Goes out, bring it back. Now, you may say, oh, well, you are trying to describe something which is very difficult. How will we do it? Very simple. Look at a child. Does the child listen to the child, parents? If you say sit, it will stand. If you say don't run, it will run. And what do? We bring the child back to a safe place. Similarly, we should try to bring our mind back to the task and say that I desire to love Krishna. This is the second step in the ladder. Let's go to the next verse. Abhyase api asamarthosi. Excuse me. Mat karma paramo bhava. Very important line. Karma paramo bhava. Mad artham api karmani purvan siddhim avapshasi. Now he says, this is external senses, bhakti with external senses, work for Krishna. Look at the translation. They are so simple. You can't have any confusion if you read it. If you cannot practice the regulations of Bhakti Yoga, then just try to work for me. Because by working for me, you will come to me. That's the perfect stage. Kurvan siddhim avapshasi. Siddhim is success. So if you can't do smaranatmika, you cannot do mananatmika, you cannot do abhyasa rupena, then at least do this. Abhyase apya samartosi. We have seen in the last verse also, we just said abhyasa yogena tato. He's again saying abhyasa. Asamarthosi. If you are not able to, if you cannot practice, then mat karma paramo bhava. Now there is a slight deeper meaning here. Many a times he said mat paraha. Mat paraha is total surrender. My heart, mind, intelligence, everything is in the service of Krishna. We are not such great devotees. So he says, okay, fine, I understand. Mat karma paramo bhava. Try and offer whatever karma you do, it is for Krishna. As I gave you the most famous example, we have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Before we have it, offer it to the Lord. Is it difficult? Not at all. It is just training your mind. That is abhyasa. Now, why we are not able to do it? Many a times we are in a rush. We say, I have to rush to the office. I cannot do all that. Yes. Problem is, it's like, when you have jaundice, tongue does not even enjoy sugar candy. Similarly, when we are contaminated by ignorance, we do not wish to do even simple things. That's what makes it difficult. Now, when Krishna is saying, "Mat karma paramo bhava," Acharya say, now you see, work for Krishna also can be on two levels. You choose whichever is possible. One is direct, do his work. No, you do anything, any activity in the temple, whatever chooses, whatever pleases you, whatever appeals to you. Any service you want to do, offer garlands to the Lord, you want to clean the temple, you want to chant his name in the temple, you want to serve prasad to devotees, choice is yours. Try and do every half an hour you spend as time not yours for the Lord. That is mat karma paramo bhava. Second is indirect. Now I don't have time. I'm a busy man. I'm a great executive in the corporate world. So what can I do? I can offer charity. He says, fine. If you cannot do direct service, at least offer charity. Give to the causes which are dear to me. If all of us can say that, I will give one Gita, sorry, one Gita to a person who does not have a Gita, we have done our job. Mat karma paramo bhava. What? Because Gita is Krishna. He says, where do I live in Kali Yuga? I live in Gita. So take this Gita, and how much does it cost? 150 rupees. We gift it to a person, our friend, relative, milkman, security guard. It doesn't matter. It is as simple as that. Krishna says, this is mat karma paramo bhava. Purvan, by undertaking this work, by gifting one Gita to another person and spending that 150 rupees selflessly, Purvan, you have done this work. Siddhim means perfection. You will attain perfection. You will come back to me. It is as simple as that. So we should say that, okay, fine, I cannot do all this mind intelligence fixing business. Let me do mat karma paramo bhava. We move to the next verse. Taitat api asaktosi kartum madyogam ashritaha sarva karma phalatyagam tata kuru yatatmavan. Now, please, if you cannot do that, you say, he says, give up the results of your work. This is nishkama karma yoga. If, however, you are unable to work in this consciousness of me, then try to act giving up all results of your work and try to be yatatmavan, self-situated. So, atha, we have seen in the last verse, you are unable to do. Etat means what I have described in the last verse. Be asaktosi. Yes, you are not able to do that. Kartum mad yogam ashrita. Then you work in consciousness of me. That is, if you cannot do that, then he says, okay, fine, I understand. Sarva karma phalatyagam. Give up the results, fruits of your work. Don't say, I did this for me. You renounce the fruits of action. You say, when you receive the salary, you should not say that, oh, well, I have done this and I have earned the salary. You say that, oh, Krishna, you have blessed me. With your blessing, I have earned this. That's it. You have offered all your efforts to the Lord. It's as simple as that. I have the feeling I am doing this for the Lord. Generally, we do all actions for our happiness. But what Krishna says, do it for me, do it as a service to me. Tata kuru yatatmavan. Then you are self-situated. You have become yata atmavan. Now, even in 2.45, Krishna says the same thing. He says, Traigunya Vishaya Veda, Nitraigunya Bhavarjuna, Nirdandvo Nitya Sattvasto, Niryoga Kshema Atmavan. So if you can be situated in yourself, that is coming back to me. So how do we do? What is Traigunya Vishaya Veda? Uh, Overcome the fraction of these three modes. Be in pure goodness. Be in that selfless state. Don't be always contaminated by gain and loss. Then you will become Atmavan. What is Atmavan? It's easy to understand. You say Dhanavan, man who has wealth. Bhagyavan, who is blessed with good faith. Balavan, man who has got a lot of strength. Similarly, you become Atmavan. This you have realized that I am Atma and I am here to serve the Lord. That's simple. As simple as that. All of us should try to say, Tata Kuru Yatatmavan. I will be situated in myself. I know I am Atma. I am not the body. Now, uh, this is the representative of what we have discussed so far. I will not go into it in detail. I just want to show you this. What is the Lord Hanuman doing? His mind, his intelligence, his work, everything is devoted to the Lord. If we can become at least 1 trillionth of what Hanuman has as love for Rama, we would have achieved the Lord. Because we are in Kali Yuga, we cannot give that kind of a sacrifice, surrender. At least we should say, he is my ideal and I will try to work for that. Now comes the trickiest verse of this entire Gita that I have found. Let's go this. It looks very simple. You will see after we go through the description, oh, well, this 4 lines has so much of hidden science behind it. Let's go to the verse. And we have titled this as hierarchy puzzle. So we have seen the 4 steps, but in that 4 steps, which is the first, which is the last? That's what Krishna tries to tell us. He says, Shreyo hi gnanam apyasaj, gnana dhyanam vishishyate, dhyanat karma phalatyagaha, yaga shantir anantaram. He says, if you cannot take this practice, then engage yourself in the cultivation of knowledge. Shreyo hi gnanam apyasaj. So if you cannot practice, go to jnana, cultivation of knowledge. Then he says the next step. Better than knowledge, however, is meditation, dhyana. That's also easier to understand. And better than meditation, sorry, something is irritating my throat. So better than meditation is renunciation of the fruits of action. For by such renunciation, one can attain peace of mind. So let's see what Krishna has said in this diagram. So he says that Jnana is better than practice. Dhyana is better than Grana. Sacrifice is better than Dhyana. So if you look at this, it looks very innocent. Oh, well, what's wrong with this? It looks simple, but then, and we also know that by Tyaga, we will achieve eternal peace. That's also known. But there is some catch here. How can karma be more important than bhakti? It's the question. And the whole key to this puzzle is in these three words. Shreyo. Shreyo means superior, better than, better. Vishishyate is better than. And abhyasa. Abhyasa is practice. So this is a play of words between Shreyo, Vishishyate, Asa. What you are getting this as a hierarchy is going by one meaning of the word. And what is that? Shreyo. Well, it's higher than, vishishyate, better than. So if you put this lens, then you get this hierarchy. But there is another way of understanding this. Now, if you take this, I will tell you what is the catch in this. Before that, now acharyas have got tremendous knowledge. I get another message. Sure, uncle. Please take leave. No problem. So here, let's start with the first Acharya's understanding is Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan. Now he gives us a very simple way of understanding this complicated verse. When I come to Srila Prabhupada, you'll understand, oh, well, we have missed the woods for the trees. He says, first of all, don't take this Shreyo and Vishishyate as better, better than. Just leave it simple. You just go by saying that it's a hierarchy in terms of which is easier to perform for the unqualified. All of us are unqualified. So he says, karma, you don't need any, there's no entry ticket, there's no license. Any one of us can do karma phala tyaga at any time I want. So he says, karma is far easier than dhyana. We have seen Ashtanga Yoga. Oh, my battery is running low. Okay. There we go. So we know Ashtanga Yoga, it is 8-step process. Arjuna says, oh, Krishna, I can't do all these things. So comparative to karma, dhyana is more difficult. Compared to dhyana, gnana is more difficult because we have seen impersonal worship is not easy. Now, compared to gnana, sadhana bhakti is the easiest. So what is wrong? Perfect. So if you go by Srila Baladev Vidyabhushan's interpretation, this verse is making sense. But then what we have studied so far is this. That is, Bhakti is the highest form and karma is the lowest. Sorry. This is what we have learned so far. So now, if you see, this is completely ulta in the verse 12. If you go by Shreyo and Vishishyate and Abhyasa as the interpretation, as we have seen through Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan. So we should say, okay, let's look at Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada makes it very easy. He says, please understand, whenever you see Abhyasa, what we do, oh, we are in 12.12, so 12.11 is the reference. So Abhyasa means it is sadhana bhakti, because we are always used to practicing devotional service. He says, no, please don't refer to 12.11. He says, refer to 12.10 and 12.9. In 12.9, we have got the same word, Abhyasa yogena tato mam ichchaptum dhananjaya. In 12.10, he says, Abhyase apya samartosi karma paramo bhava. So we have seen this word definition of Abhyasa in the earlier two verses. So this is referring to 12.10 and 12.9. So he says karma phala tyaga is not referring to just tyaga of karma. It is referring to mat karma paramo bhava. And sadhana bhakti is referring to nishkama karma that we saw in 12.10. So if you put this, now it becomes nishkama karma. This is karma. And this is mat karmo paramo bhava. Then this is karma yoga. Then this is sadhana bhakti. Because Krishna has said, if you are able to do your work for me, then you will achieve me. That is bhakti. So if we do this interpretation, then the hierarchy puzzle matches each other perfectly. I'm sure when you hear it, it sounds easy. If you do a little more studies, you will understand, oh, well, I have to research this deeply to come to this understanding. Now, with this, we have finished the first two sessions, the first two parts of this chapter, and now we come to the relatively easier part. Here, it is, he is listing 31 qualities, which we have to go through in the next 7 verses. So, what is disposition of a devotee? He says, if you have to be a devotee, then you have to develop the tendency, you have to develop the mood, you have to have the inclination, the temperamental makeup to act in a certain manner. It is not easy for anyone to become a, it's like, talent is inborn. When either Sachin Tendulkar or Roger Federer, when they were born, they were human beings like us, but they had an innate talent. What did they do? They practiced. And then they became the biggest tennis player, greatest tennis player. When Tendulkar became the greatest batsman ever. So what is the thing edge difference? They had talent and they practiced. So Krishna is saying, if you can practice to have all the 31 qualities or few of them, you will be easily coming back to me. You will easily achieve bhakti. So these 31 qualities are characterized into two: essential, Swarupa Lakshana; ancillary, Tatastana Lakshana. So if you don't have Shraddha, faith in you, all these 31 qualities also will not help you. So we have to have faith, and with faith, if you're able to practice these 31 qualities, we will be able to achieve Krishna. Now, if this is a nice description by the Acharya, they say that if you study these 31 qualities, you can group them into 4. One is attitude towards self. It is Atma Gyan. Don't misunderstand yourself to be the body. You're the Atma. Then dealing with others. This is the greatest thing. We should not have jealousy. We should not have anger. Why do we get angry? Because our ego is upset. If you are understanding and practice this nirmamo, nirahankara, as we see forward, dealing with other entities, then reaction when things happen to us, any small misery, and we'll say, oh, where is the Lord? He is going to put me into so much of trouble. Dealings with the Lord. Then how do we deal with the Lord? So these 4 steps are covered through these 31 qualities. Let me put this on. Yeah. Let's go one by one. This verse has 7 qualities as described here. Atveshta sarva bhutanam maitraha karuna evacha nirmamo nirahankaraha samadukka sukakshami. Takes all sufferings as Krishna's kindness to avoid reaction. So now I'll make it very simple. Dealing with other entities, atveshta, non-envious towards anyone. It's like me telling maybe Ravi or Ramesh are the world's billionaires. I look at them with the same respect as I'm looking at them today. That is non-envious. I'm not really worried about their billions. I'm only worried as my friendship with them as Ravi or Ramesh. Just to give you an example. Maitra, friendly to all. We have no enemies in this world. Karuna evacha, be kind, merciful to all. Attitude towards the self, nirmamo, nirahankara. If we are able to practice these two, I think we have achieved a great progress in life. Nothing belongs to us. We come empty-handed, we go back empty-handed. And why all this ego? Hey, this is mine. This is my piece of land. This is my house. This is my job. This is my family. My. That's the end of the word. Nothing is mine. Everything is the Lord's. That's the simple form. Attitude towards the self, free from false ego. You are just a speck in this vast universe, then why have that ahankara? Oh, I am so and so. Give it up. Samadukka sukha. Be equipoised. And he says this in so many forms, equal in happiness and distress, because he himself says that Mrityu samsara sagara, I will rescue. So when he is saying that, why should we worry when we have distress, when we have misery? Embrace it the same way we embrace happiness. Shami, forgiving and tolerant. This is the 7 qualities we have covered in this verse. We go to the next verse. Santushta satatam yogi yatatmara druda nischayah mai arpita mano buddhir yomat tasame priyaha. This is one of the standards in these verses. He goes on saying, you are dear to me. Yomat bhakta same priyaha. Takes all sufferings as Krishna's kindness to avoid reaction. All this, I agree, looks simple, sounds even simpler, but one word or one letter of this to achieve will take a lifetime. Now let's go through this again. Santushta satatam yogi, satisfied in devotional service. So if we are able to engage ourselves in devotional service, that is the start. The purification starts. I may not be born with all the qualities, but the moment I start devotional service, I have started the process of abhyasa, self. The moment we do abhyasa, we get better self-control. Yatatma, Rudanishchayaha, determined. We will fail, we will falter, but don't give up. Stay to the course. It doesn't matter. We are not in a race. It's not that if you don't do well or you do well, you get a promotion. No, it is constant. It is the Lord, and the Lord is uh, inconceivable. For him, your effort is more important. Your intent is more important. Your interest is more important. Not that I'm saying that, oh, well, today I did 64 rounds. 64 rounds is for your satisfaction, not for the satisfaction of the Lord. What is more important? I will chant. I will begin the day by chanting for the Lord. That is Dhruv Nishchaya. Mai arpita mano buddhir, mind and intelligence fixed on me. He has said the same line in 8.7. He says, Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu ma manusmara yudhyacha mai arpita mano buddhir ma me vaishyasi asamshayaha. So this is not that he's using for the first time. Fix your mind and intelligence on me. We go to the next verse. So what happens? Yomat bhakta same priyaha. He will embrace us. We will go back to him. These are all hope-giving words. So we all have to have a target, objective. If I'm able to become free from ego, nirahankara, if I'm able to have a compassionate attitude towards all, oh, 2 qualities of the 31 I've been able to master in my lifetime. 12.15. Here we're talking about dealing with others and attitude towards self. Yasman nodvijate loko, lokan nodvijate chaya, harsham marsha bayodvegair, muktu yasame priyaha. Constant line in all the verses. Never cause distress to others. I will show this. Yasman nodvijate loko. I am not agitating someone else. My behavior is such I don't irritate others. Loka not vijite chaya. And he, a devotee, a bhakta, is not agitated by anyone. Let's see this small clipping if it works.
Nara. Narayana, 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 Narayana.
Yukto pasate. Now, Hiranyakashipu's own father threw Dhruva into all kinds of difficulties. But he had only one answer, simple, chanting. He says, Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. If we can do that, any misery we will be able to overcome. Harsha, Marsha, Bayodvegair, equipoised in joy, distress, fear, and anxiety. If we are able to have these qualities, Krishna says, such a devotee is dear to me. Let's go to the next verse. Anapeksha suchir daksha udasino gatavyataha sarvaramba parityagi yomad bhakta same priyaha. Never cause distress to others. Anapeksha, neutral. Don't have expectations. Expectation was the cause of misery. Suchir, pure. Try to maintain that mode of goodness. As long as we try to operate in that, then going towards Krishna becomes easier. Ksha, expert. Be expert in the cause of giving up. Don't be an expert in the cause of accumulating. I want more. Give me something more. Give me something more. The whole life is spent in accumulation. No. If you are an expert, you will say that I will take only what I need. I don't want anything more than that. Easier said than done. I agree. But this is the message. Udasi, no, without care. I am not attached. Nothing is mine. I can't take even a blade of grass when I leave this body. Gatavetaha, free from all pains and designations. Why is the Lord saying this? He says you have to live in this world happily. If that is the case, then don't be attached. You can only be attached to me because I am eternal. Sarvaramba parityagi, give up the desire for sense gratification. It's easier said than done. You tell this to a guy who smokes, you tell this to a guy who drinks, who tell this to a person who eats non-veg, who tell this to a person who has pan masala. I'm not talking about this now. This is the latest curse. A guy who's hooked onto pan masala, you do whatever, he will not give it up because he says, "Sir, बहुत मजा आता है." That is the beginning of moving away from devotion because you are happy to enjoy for yourself. Selfish. What happens? Yomat bhakta same priyaha. Yo na hrishyati na dveshti, na sochati na kankshati, subhashubha parityagi, bhaktiman ya same priyaha. Again, he's saying, such a devotee is near to me. Yo na hrishyati na dveshti. We can almost guess. No joy, no grief. Be equipoised. Sthita prajna. How do you imagine Sthita prajna? A drop of water on a leaf. Just do this, you can blow the water away. The water is gone, the leaf remains as it is. Doesn't leave behind any trace of existence. That is how we should be. Nothing is ours, nothing can affect us. Na soshati, na kankshati. I neither lament nor I desire. Subhashubha parityagi renounces all inauspicious and auspicious things. We generally think that, oh, let me keep this, this is auspicious. Krishna says that is also duality. Don't do that. Auspicious also offered to me, inauspicious also offered to me. Then you become mine. Priman yastame priyaha. Such a devotee is very dear to me. Let's go to the next verse. Samashatru chamitre cha tata manapamanayo sitoshna sukadukeshu samasanga vivarjitaha. Unaffected by material emotions. And this is very important for us because all of us face so many challenges in life. How do we control our emotions? Samashatrusha mitrecha. Be equal to friends, be equal to enemies. Don't, because enemy and friend is a definition based on our expectation. Tata mana pamanayo. Honor, dishonor. Tomorrow someone insults you, don't fly into rage. You say, okay, fine. You are happy with by calling me names, so be it. Easier said than done. Sitoshna Sukha Dukkeshu, equipoised in heat, cold, happiness, distress. Such a simple line. Krishna says, he has repeated this even in 6.7. He says, Jitatmana prasantasya paramatma samahitaha sitoshna sukha dukkeshu tata mana pamanayo. He's the same two lines comes in 6.7 also. Samasanga vivarjita, free from contaminating association, give up attachments. So if you try to go towards a temple, associate yourself with sadhus, bhaktas, devotees, you will start the journey of giving up this love for me, mine, and accumulation. 12.19. Here he is now also Krishna tells how to deal with the Lord. Tulyaninda Sutir Mauni, Santushtayono Kenachit, Aniketa Stiramatir, Bhaktiman Me Priyonaraha, unaffected by material emotions. Tulyaninda Sutir, equal in criticism and praise. Mauni, silence. In fact, we see this twice in this verse. Santushta yeno kenachit, satisfied with whatever comes of its own accord. That is the most important guideline that Krishna says. You are destined to get something. Whatever you do, you will not get more than that. First is, if we realize this, if we are aware of this, we will stop striving more than that is required. Aniketaha, I don't care for any residence. Nothing is mine. I am where the Lord is. If you have this, then you are really right, because you are completely surrendered to the Lord. And you may be wondering, oh, well, that's so easy to say. Can you give me an example? I'll tell you, whenever I'm in Vrindavan, Mathura, I walk past the temple, I find few simple looking people, and their only belonging is one set of clothes and one or two sets of books. They have a small bowl in front of them, and if you give them money, they will eat the food. If you don't give them money, they don't have food. They don't have savings, they have no insurance, they have no residence, nothing. And they live happily. Every day they are in the same spot. And I used to always wonder, oh, what a waste of time. These people are not using their talents. That is sacrifice. That is surrender. Who are we to define what we are going to do? It is the Lord who has defined. They have faith, hence they have said, I will surrender to the Lord. We have no faith, hence we decide to strive all our life. Sthitamatir, silence. The last verse, sorry, this is the repeat. Ye tu dharmamrutam idam, very, very important word. Dharmamrutam idam, yatoktam paryupasate, shraddha dhana mat parama. Again, he started with shraddha, he's ending with shraddha. Bhaktas te ativa me priya. He says, now this is, I like them very much. Surrender soul is the most dear to Krishna. Let's go through this word, verse line by line. Ye tu dharmamrutam. Dharmamrutam is one who follows this imperishable path of devotional service. This path existed before, it is existing today. We may say, oh, we are in Kali Yuga, we are in the 21st century. How is this possible? Lord says, this is the nectar of religion. Surrender and bhakti will continue to be there today in the Kali Yuga, tomorrow of the Kali Yuga. It is not going to disappear. It is just that maybe in Satya Yuga, millions of people followed bhakti. In Kali Yuga, tens of people will follow bhakti. But the path is eternal. It will exist. Yathoktam paryupasate. As I have spoken, as you have listened to, as you have understood, then you worship me. Shraddha dana mat parama. What is Shraddha? Faith. What is Mat Parama? Vat Paraha? You have agreed, you have realized that I, the Lord, is the supreme and I am his servant. Dasanudasa. I surrender unto you. The moment you have that, you have no ego. The moment you have no ego, you have started the process of surrender. Bhaktaste ativa me priya. Such a devotee is the most loved by me. In 12.2, we said, Mai aveshya manoye mam, nitya yukta upasate, shraddhaya paryopetas, te me yukta tamamataha. So one who has faith can only follow this path. With this, we come to the end of the chapter. I will show you one more clipping of Dhruva Maharaj. Sorry, it'll work now.
Narayana, Narayana,
खा ले उसे, नहीं तो महाराज हमें जीवित नहीं छोड़ेंगे।
So, what is it? Looks maybe people will say, hey, it's a nice story. Will it really happen? The moment you ask this question, you don't have Shraddha. Dhruva Maharaj lived, his father Hiranyakashipu lived. Hiranyakashipu tried his best to kill him, but he did not succeed. What even the most ferocious of animals, lion, got tamed just because he sat Chala. He was undisturbed in his chanting of Narayana. When he is chanting with such devotion, there is no danger which can upset him, which can affect him. But We are not Dhruva Maharaj. That is why we have this question. Oh, can this happen? With that, we come to the end of the session. The chapter is devotional service, God. I have a message. Let's see. Sorry, I'm corrected. This Prahlad Maharaj, not the Dhruva Maharaj. All these clippings that I show was Prahlad Maharaj. Thank you, Sneha. So, God, Godhead, the first 7 verses, Krishna, Arjuna asks, whom should I worship? Is it your Bhagavan form or is it your Brahman form? Krishna answers, please worship the Bhagavan because I am responsive. I am reciprocal. The more you surrender to me, the more I will protect you. Options. Then he gives us, oh, well, how do I pray to you? How do I worship you? What is devotional service? He says, I am giving you the ladder of bhakti. It's the ladder of love. To different extent, the more you have love, the more faster you will achieve him. Devotee's disposition, qualities Krishna likes in his devotees. If you start the process of Bhakti Yoga, you will develop these qualities one by one, slowly. It will not happen today, it will not happen in 5 years, but it will certainly happen. With this, we come to the end of this chapter. Thank you very much. And the floor is now open to any questions. Jayaraman, any questions?
Nothing. It's very clear and very simple way it has been explained.
Thank you. I get another message. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Jayaraman. Hare Krishna. Ravi, Vani, Chetana, Nandita, Ramesh, Murari. Feel free to ask any simple question. Don't have that, the question should look intelligent, should sound intelligent. No.
Hare Krishna,
Let me-
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Not a question.
Yeah.
Just an observation that simple though the verses seem, I mean, from number 13, is he talking of the 31 qualities?
Yes. 13 to 20.
They are difficult to follow.
Absolutely, absolutely. See, the difference between Sachin Tendulkar and any of us, all of us can play cricket, but he plays it the best. So that is the difference, We should don't take it literally. I have to be the Sachin Tendulkar in devotion. No, then the moment you say
Yeah.
that, no. What is the constant common factor between the two? The dedication, the effort, the commitment, the conviction. Shraddha dana paryopetaha. That should be the path. So if we can do that, then these 31 qualities will, they are already there in us. They're all innate. All of us are, what you can say, being given these qualities. It is just that they are not polished. It's lying somewhere hidden below the surface.
For me, I mean, as I understand and as I take these verses, every time every instance that something like this happens, I find it, I mean, if I just remember the verse and I'm able to at least bring an iota of it into action, would be something achieved. I mean, I would be competing with my earlier self and bringing each of these qualities as the situation occurs, bringing each of these qualities into practice.
Yeah.
So if I'm able to at least think of one of these qualities as the situation demands, or somebody is shouting at me, or I'm going through some humiliation, or I'm being embarrassed somewhere, or I'm feeling happy one instant, and maybe another instance, another day, I'm feeling extremely sad. If I'm able to at least remember these verses, or at least remember that Bhagavan has spoken of these qualities, and uh, the way to reach him is to be equipoised. The word that keeps getting repeated is sukha dukkhe
Sukham.
same kritva.
Ah,
You're equipoised. Equipoised is the key word, seems to be the key word in all these verses. So if I'm able to, at least think of one of these verses as, in a life situation, I would have bettered myself from yesterday.
I'll
This is
give you a wonderful example.
just an observation.
Uh-huh. And how apt it is. No, I'm in Vrindavan, and Vrindavan is famous for monkeys. I'm not talking about being equipoised when the life gives you a challenge. I'm giving you a situation where when I wear my glasses and I go to visit a temple, the monkeys are so naughty, and I take all precautions. I don't wear glasses when I'm very near to the area infected by or infested by monkeys. I keep it in my bag. One day I forgot, and such a thing, I was standing, it came from behind. I'm not a small young person, I'm a tall person, and imagine what is the size of a monkey. He is able to stretch, and he took off the specs as though someone is taking it from behind me. And then I realized, oh my god, it's a monkey. And I flew into a rage because I know I am completely handicapped without my glasses. And the monkey started dancing, it went up, and the way they have understood, they are more intelligent than us. If you give a can of fruity, it will give back whatever it has stolen from you. And then imagine, I was climbing the steps, I ran down, bought a fruity, gave it to the monkey. By that time it had already chewed up on my frame, but my lens was safe. And then it threw it away as soon as I gave the fruity. Of course, I had to act with another Mataji. She was smart. When I was trying to attract the monkey, she took the glasses and gave it to me. So life is in Vrindavan, you are put into all kinds of testing situation by an innocent looking monkey. And then when I got angry, and then of course, after half an hour, I cooled down. I said, okay, fine. The Lord has said, be equipoised. Maybe there was something in the last life that I had done to the monkey. The monkey took my glasses away and played. I was lucky. I got back my glass. There are many people who don't get their glasses. And imagine if you have both short sight, long sight, you cannot survive without a glass. You have to rush to the optician, get your glasses. No glass manufacturer or the optician can give you a glass in 1 minute. You're going to wait, and your day and your whole yatra is ruined. That is life. A monkey is reality. Monkey's tricks are reality. Now the only change is whether you are the victim or I am the victim. And when you are the victim, it's easy for me to say, oh, Chetna, please be equipoised. When I am the victim, I find it was not easy. And it took great amount of control, come out of that feeling of why me? Why my glass? And all these glasses today are very expensive. Now I said, when I come to Vrindavan and when I go to the temple, I will not wear my expensive glass. That is realization, because monkey is not going to stop playing tricks. Now I have to be smart. So this is how I thought, no, practicing, it's a lifelong journey. Nothing comes easily. Krishna, why he's talked about it, Arjuna, and he has repeated so many times. He said, be mauni, be silent, be equipoised, be nirahankara, nirmamo, because he knows all these are not easy for a normal lay person. I am not a sannyasi where I'll be able to achieve this in a given frame of time. I am a normal person. But Krishna says, I love you because you are making an attempt to, that's the journey. So the joy is not if I have mastered nirhankara. The joy is not about if I mastered the sense of lack of pride, lack of ego, because there are only two. I have 31 to master. Maybe I will take 31 lifetimes to master all the 31. And the day that happens, our stay in this material universe comes to an end. We go back to Goloka.
It's like we tell our children not to look at how much you're getting, not 100 on 100 or 20 on 100 or 50 on 100, but just to keep up the effort of studying. So what is their duty as a student? It is only to keep at studies and keep up the efforts, and the results will automatically follow. So, I mean, that is an analogy that I can take at the moment.
Exactly.
Because
you
we are all
in that
in
phase of life.
Ah.
You are waiting for me results. So
Yes.
whatever
So-
happens, it happens for the good. That is faith. You may say, I got 50, you got 90. Okay, fine. You deserve 90, I deserve 50. But my 50 will take me to where I am supposed to go. Your 90 will take you to the place where you are supposed to go.
Correct,
So
correct.
why compare? Why lose hope? But of course, we have all gone through this phase, when our children were writing 12th, waiting for the results. It is easy to say, very difficult to practice. But whenever we have that pressure tense, we should try and see that, okay, let me read this verse. How Krishna tells me to manage this challenge. Murari,
Thank
you
you,
have any
Prabhuji.
question? Thank you. Thank you. Murari is on mute. Ramesha?
ಇದು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಶ್ಯಾಮ್
Huh.
ಯು ಆರ್ ಟಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಮೈಕ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಲೈಟ್ ಇಯರ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಐ ಆಮ್ ಇನ್ ಲೈಟ್ ಇಯರ್ಸ್ when you are expecting me to be a micron efficient, so nowhere near the range.
I agree, Ramesha. It is not easy. But what is the most important thing is that at least we know what we should do. Whether we are able to do it or not able to do it, that is secondary. At least I had decided to be playing cricket and I want to master being either a batsman or a bowler. At least my choice is done. So we have decided to be a devotee, and whatever extent possible, we will start doing it. That's what makes life interesting, because whatever effort we have done now, we all spent 1 hour or 1 hour 15 minutes on listening to Gita, is a permanent credit in our account. Because Krishna says, if you listen to what I am saying to Arjuna, you are most dear to me. So we have done that. So all that we do it 1 month, 1 hour in a month. If you're able to do this, maybe then we will say 1 hour in a week. Then we will say 1 hour in a day. That is the journey. Ravi, any questions? Any thoughts? Ravi has come out of mute, but we can't hear him. Okay, if there are no questions, are you saying something, Ravi? Can't hear you.
ಶ್ಯಾಮ್, ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ಇದು ನಿಂದು ಮೆಸೇಜಸ್ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಓಪನ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು. ನಿನ್ ಮೆಸೇಜಸ್ ನೀನ್ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕಾರೆ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಈ ಮೆಸೇಜಸ್ ಮಿನಿಮೈಸ್ ಮಾಡು.
1 ನಿಮಿಷ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಚಾಟ್ ಹೋಗ್ಲಾ?
ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ನಿನ್ ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಮಿನಿಮೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು.
ಓಕೆ,
ಎರಡು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, 2 squares.
ಹೌದಾ? ಓಕೆ,
that is a problem. Now it is clear. I don't know what you did.
Okay,
This is the
okay,
problem.
I see. Because see, why I opened that was I don't know who is speaking or who's trying to speak. That's why I had opened that.
Yeah, when you open that, half the screen will be blocked.
Okay, okay, I see. Good observation, Ramesh. I'll be careful. Or I'll see and quickly minimize. So if there are no questions, thank you very much, because it's your support, it's learning for me. So that is Nirahankara, no ego. I am only passing the message of Krishna. Thank you very much. Please bless me that I continue to do this. Thank you very much. Enjoy it, Sunday.
Thank you, Shyam.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.